All right, I want to welcome you all to another class. Today we'll be talking about a very important topic, still on management information system, and it is titled computer networking. Computer networking. Now, when we talk about computer networking, what are we really talking about? We are talking about linking devices, ability to link two or more devices for the purpose of sharing information and even computer resources. Okay, we all know what a computer system is, an electronic gadget that helps us to process our data, intersect data to an input device, process data to a processing device, stores information to a storage device, and displays results or output through what we call an output device. So whereby I link two or more of these kind of devices together for the purpose of sharing information and computer resources, we call it computer networking. So computer networking talks about the practice of connecting two or more computing devices to share resources, to exchange data, and even enable word communication. All right, that's the essence of computer networking, and that is computer networking. A computer network can include devices such as it can be computer systems, as I said, it could be routers, printers, and even other hardware interconnected and through what we call wired or wireless communication. Because networking can either be wired, that's when you use cables like the optical fiber cable, the multi-stranded cable, the coaxial cable, okay, or when you do it through wirelessly, all right, through what we call radio waves or even Wi-Fi connections, okay. Now, that is what we mean by computer networking. It talks about the practice of connecting two or more computing devices to share resources, exchange data, and basically to enable communication. So don't forget that. So what are the key components of computer network? That's the next thing I want us to talk about, all right. Now, the first thing I'm going to be talking about is any gadget, any device I connect towards a particular network, that device automatically becomes a node. So the first thing I want to talk about is a node. When we talk about a node, there are devices on a network. All right, it can be computers, it can be smartphones, it can even be printers. The moment I link or connect that gadget or that device to a particular network, then it is set to be what? A node. Do not forget that. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is network interface card, which we call the NIC. A network is futile without an NIC. Okay, when we talk about NIC, network interface card, is simply a hardware component that allows a device to connect to a network. So if there is no device to connect to a network, then it's pointless. So that is the duty or the responsibility or the primary obligation of a network interface card, okay, to help us to allow a device to connect to a particular network. Number three, I'm going to talk about the transmission media. All right, it's any physical or wired means through which data is transmitted. It's called the transmission media. It can be wired, it can be wireless. Is that clear? All right, when I talk about wired, I mean like let's say the Ethernet cables, the fiber optic cables, the multi-stranded cables, and the rest of them. Okay, we call this transmission media. And in terms of wireless, we talk about radio waves and even your wireless fidelity, which we call our Wi-Fi. Okay, that takes us to number four, which is switches and hubs. Okay, for switches and hubs, they are very important. They are devices that connect multiple devices within a network to enable communication. So you have different devices, you have multiple devices you want to connect. I need a port where you can connect these devices. Of course, you need to get either a switch or a hub. Okay, there are devices that connect multiple devices within a network to enable easy communication and interaction. All right, the next we have is routers. ROUTRS. What are routers? The essence of routers is to create a route to avoid traffic on a network. Okay, they are actually devices that direct data between networks and connect network to the internet. Okay, you want to link your network to the internet, then you need a router to avoid traffic. Okay, so routers are basically to direct data between different networks and to connect networks to the internet. If I want to connect my network to the internet, then I need to go get a router. All right. The next thing I'm going to be talking about, which is number 6, is protocols. Now, no communication can exist if they fail to adhere to protocols. Now, protocols are just set of rules, they are guidelines that govern communication between devices on a network. I said there are rules or guidelines that govern, all right, communication between devices on the network. Devices to communicate, there are different protocols they need to adhere to, like the TCP, the IP, the HTTP, the FTP, and the rest of them. Okay, they are all protocols. I mean the transmission control protocol, the TCP, or the internet protocol, the IP. or even the hypertext transfer protocol, which we call the HTTP. Okay, all right. So all these are key components of the computer network. So under the key component, I mentioned 6 components. I talked about the node. I talked about the NIC, which is the network interface card. I talked about the transmission media, which is number 3. Number 4, I talked about switches and hubs. Number 5, I talked about routers. And finally, number 6, I talked about protocols. That will take us to what we call types of computer network. We have different kinds of computer network, aside the wired and the wireless. Okay, all right. Now, wired and wireless is just the classification. Okay, then types. Now we have the local area network, okay, which is very common. It's just a network that connects devices in a small geographical area, such as maybe within an office or within your home. All right, we call such network local area network. All right, then we also have the wide area network. This is very wide. It's a network that covers a large geographical area, often connecting multiple lands as in multiple local area networks. Okay, example is of course the international network, which we call the network of networks or the internet. It's a good example of wide area network. Then we have the metropolitan area network, which is not as vast as the internet or the WAN. Okay, it's a network that spans a city or a large campus. We call that MAN, metropolitan area network. Example is the university network or campus network. All right. Then we have what we call the personal area network. Okay, in terms of the personal area network, it's for you alone. The laptop, your printer, your scanner, your phone, your MP3 player, and so on. Just things around you. The personal gadgets. Okay, a small network used for personal devices such as connecting a smartphone to a laptop and so on. Okay, or like all the connections I have presently is what we see. It's a PAN. Okay, a personal area network. Example is using your Bluetooth or even your USB connections. Okay, then number 5, we have what we call the wireless local area network. That sounds interesting, isn't it? We call that the WLAN. Remember, I've talked about the LAN, the local area network. I've talked about the WAN, the wide area network. I've talked about the MAN, all right, the metropolitan area network. We even have the campus area network, which we call the CAN. All right. Then I also talked about the personal area network, which is the PAN. And now I'm talking about the WLAN, which is known as the wireless local area network. Okay, now in terms of the wireless area network, local area network, it's a kind of a wireless version of LAN. You understand? It's a wireless version of LAN. No LAN just within. Okay, it's a wireless version of LAN that uses what we call the Wi-Fi technology. Yes, wireless fidelity technology. Example is your wireless network in a coffee shop or a wireless network in a school library. Okay, that is a LAN. All right. So that will take us to the benefits of computer networking. But just a brief summary of what we've talked about so far. I talked about the types of network: the local area network, the LAN; the wide area network, the WAN; the metropolitan area network, the MAN; the personal area network, the PAN; and the WLAN, which is number 5, the wireless local area network. Now we're looking at the benefits of computer network. I've said it all earlier in my definition. The primary objective of every network is to share resources and to aid communication. You understand, irrespective of your distance. All right. Now, number 1 is resource sharing. Number 2 is communication. Number 3 is gives you access to data access. Number 4, it saves you cost efficiency. And finally, number 5 is what? Scalability. Network can grow by adding more network, can grow bigger and wider. You understand? So these are the benefits of computer networking. I said number 1, resource sharing. Number 2, communication. Number 3, data access. Number 4, cost efficiency. And number 5, scalability. That takes us to types of network topology. So what is network topology? Network topology is different. It talks about the arrangement. It's the physical arrangement or the structural pattern of a particular network. It can be a U shape, a straight shape, a square shape, a X shape, or a circle shape, a ring shape. Whichever way you want your network, you want to build your network. That is what we mean by network topology. I said network topology talks about the structure, the pattern. How do you want the physical structure or the arrangement of your network to look like? All right. So that physical arrangement is what we call network topologies. All right. I'm looking at the various types of network topologies. The first one I'm going to be talking about is the bus topology. In terms of the bus topology, all devices share a common communication line, just one line. All right. And if anything happens to that one line, then everybody will be disconnected. Okay. Advantage is it's easy to install. In terms of disadvantage, single failure disrupt the entire network. Don't forget that. So in terms of bus topology, all devices share a common communication line. All right, then the next is star topology. I love this also because this one has a server. All right, there's a central hub or a switch. All right, in terms of star topology, all devices connect to a central hub or a switch. You understand? Advantage is it's easy to troubleshoot. In terms of disadvantage, the central hub fails, then the network goes down, just like the bus topology that has a single communication line. All right, number three is the ring topology. All right, ring topology, there are devices that form a closed loop. There is a loop. In terms of it, there is no master and there is no slave. Everybody is equal. All right, in this kind of connection, no master, no slave. Everybody is what is equal. All right, in terms of ring topology, devices form a closed loop. You understand? Nobody is bigger than anyone. Then all the nodes are all interconnected in a circle shape or in a ring shape. All right. Advantages: equal data distribution. The disadvantage: failure in one device affects the entire network. Then we have the mesh topology, which is number four. In terms of mesh topology, okay, every device connects to every other devices. You understand? It's a kind of radical network where you link to me, I link to you link to them, they link to you. You understand? Everybody and anybody can connect together. All right. So what is the advantage of mesh topology? That is, every device connects to every other device. All right. It is high fault tolerance. You understand? High fault. That's the advantage. It's so nice. It's high fault tolerance. And even if there's a fault anywhere, everybody can still do their work. If anything happens to you on your own, all right, can link to someone else, you understand? So it's high fault tolerance. Disadvantage, expensive and complex. Yes, a complex network because we have different network all linked together. Okay, so it's high, in terms of the advantage, high fault tolerance, and in terms of the disadvantage, it is expensive and complex to build. All right, and even to maintain. Then number five, I'm going to talk about the hybrid topology. In terms of the hybrid, it combines, of course, two or more topologies. Okay, this is one topology connecting to another topology. That's why it is called a hybrid topology. Advantage is flexible and it is scalable. You can increase it to whichever length you want to. That's where the scalability and flexibility comes in. Then in terms of the disadvantage, it is a complex setup. Yes, it's very complex and it costs a lot. Okay. All right. So we've talked about that's for network topology. Okay. I talked about the bus topology, the star topology. I talked about the ring topology. I talked about the mesh topology. And now I just talked about the hybrid topology. So that will take us to what we call applications of what of computer network, and we'll call it a day. In terms of application, of course, in education, you can share educational materials and conduct online classes on the network, of course. Businesses, you can manage your communication and collaboration with different organizations on a particular network. Then in healthcare, of course, connecting patient records and enabling what you call telemedicine. You understand what telemedicine? Okay, whereby a medical doctor gives you medical advice and you understand, medical drugs and stuff relating to health. Okay, online through a particular network. We call that telemedicine. Then we have number four is entertainment. Okay, you can stream movies on Netflix, on Prime, on YouTube, and stuff like that. Okay, networking has made that possible. Okay, that's for entertainment. Then number five is government. Yeah, the government needs it. Managing public services like taxation, voting systems, and even law enforcement. Okay, so these are all the things we're going to be talking about. Okay, then finally we have network security. In terms of network security, we're talking about protecting your network from unauthorized access. You understand? Misuse or theft. You are protecting your network from unauthorized access, misuse or theft. We call it network security. And what are common security measures? Of course, you install firewalls, encryption, secure password policies, and even your antivirus for software. Okay, that's for network. Your ability to protect your network from unauthorized access, misuse, or theft. Then common security measures: install your firewall, encryption, ensure your data is encrypted, ensure your policies, your password policies are strong. Then install an antivirus. So I remain your facilitator, Primo Excel. Okay, and you can like and share this video. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much.